Hello, hello. How are you
Hello.
doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Good. I'm in London and going coming to Paris. Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
with a stopover in Estonia, and then after that I go to Singapore and finish off things in a week,
Okay.
and then after that to Dubai.
Dubai. So you're just across the channel this time.
Yeah, yeah, close by. Only 1 hour difference.
Only 1 hour. We are 2 weeks late on schedule this time.
Yeah, I know. Some people asked me. I
Yeah,
mean, one of the people was my mom, so I
I know.
can't.
Our number one audience. My
What audience?
mom's like, oh, in the podcast on the ille.
Yeah. But it's good. But this time I'm going to give it to
Mm.
someone I found online to edit.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, there are two, three candidates. We'll see how soon they can turn it around.
Okay. So we're gonna do like a. Are you gonna do like an audition thingy of seeing who
Yeah,
gets?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's only like $30, $40, so we'll see who can do a better job.
Yeah.
Or we'll
Sounds
keep
good.
changing it between people every week, and then people can let us know which week is
The
better.
best one. And then we can choose actually, no?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we can do like a poll.
Yeah,
Between five, six, and seven, what is your
that's true. All right, let's get started on this week's
all
topic.
right. Chatting today, this podcast is about you. This podcast today, we decided that we're gonna do something a bit more specific, but also personal, but also broad because it applies to a lot of people as well. It's about entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
And since I'm not an entrepreneur, I want to learn from somebody who is an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
So we're gonna focus on that, and we have some long form questions and some rapid fire that Jacob definitely doesn't know because I prepared it.
excellent. It makes it easier for me. I hate preparing. Did you know that in a few hours' time, I have to wake up at 3 a.m.? I've got my exams going on now for the law degree. So,
See, see
yeah,
what? Oh, and a key
I have to
entrepreneur thing
learn.
is
I
to
have
keep
no more.
learning.
Yeah, yeah. Because entrepreneurship is always risky, so you have to always have a plan B. My
You have
plan
like
B is to
you
be
have
an even worse lawyer.
the one in Australia.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. See, so we already have given. They started off with a good tip. Plan B is what you need. Okay, so let's kick it off, and we need to start by giving people a bit of background on this episode and about you and well, your entrepreneurship journey, how you began, like a quick refresher, let's say.
I think I think my earliest thing about entrepreneurship was when I was listening and reading about people who were successful in doing business.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I had, like, my mom's side of the family was heavy into business. Our Kurichachan was into business.
Yeah.
So seeing how they operate and do things, obviously you only see the surface, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, this is better than a job. You're doing your own
Freedom.
things. Yeah, yeah. So it makes it much more attractive that way. And I think also during high school, college, and all these things, it also is a very, very attractive escapism.
Right.
Like, you don't want to be in this rat race. I'm going to work. So I think me, graduation time around undergraduate time was like, I was 2000, year 2000 was when the dot-com boom and everything was happening. And
Right.
there's, like, a lot of acceleration of these stories of these dot-com billionaires and this and that. So I had some ideas back then, but it was very naive ideas. But it's also goes back to entrepreneurship is also a lot of it is actually, in my belief,
Okay.
a mental illness.
A mental illness.
Yeah, so everybody wants to take the safe option. You're like, let's just burn the house and go for it. And it's basically risk taking.
Yeah.
Smart, intelligent people will assess risks and not take something which is risky. People with this mental illness called entrepreneurship will take that risk.
Yeah.
I think there's a fine line sometimes between taking a gamble and starting a business. It is assessing your risks and trying to take it in, and there are so many factors which are not in your control. So the safe option is not to do it and just get a job and get paid monthly, and a lot of people are good with it. But
Was
I
there like a moment when you kind of was like, okay, now I can't do this anymore. I have to start my own thing. Was there like a moment like that where you're always building towards it? What would you say?
I think I was in back of my head. I always wanted to create something and be my own boss. I think it's because I wouldn't fit into any 9 to 5 kind of a thing. But entrepreneurship is not straightforward in that sense. I had a lot of ideas. A lot of them died on the planning stage. A lot of them died in the first few steps. A lot of them died in a year's time. So there's a series of failures. But you try to learn from those mistakes. And finally, it came to a point where I had worked in one industry for a long time. I saw this was the time to start it, and I just put all my efforts, everything into it. And then it's not like in the movies or something that, oh, you start something and it catches fire and you become successful. It's like a video game. First
Yeah.
you face
One level.
constantly facing challenges, internal
Yeah,
challenges, external challenges, government challenges, client challenges. It's like a whole thing that just keeps coming one after the other. So it's like Super Mario,
yeah.
or
Double game.
Prince of Persia, kind of things.
So
It's like
every
different
level
levels.
gets
Yeah, different
new
levels.
challenge unlocked, right?
Yeah, yeah, a new challenge unlocked. So it keeps going like that.
Okay, so you wouldn't say it was a moment, it was more like you were building towards it. You had it in the back of your mind, and then
Yeah,
you were like, I'm gonna now start.
yeah. I think that was. I was doing well in my job, and I said, maybe this is the time I should start something on my own. And it was a risk. I started Red Hill when I was 35. So two kids, a
Yeah.
new country, and I was like, but I thought this is the place. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now.
Okay. Great. Okay. And then looking back, would you say that you learned something in the 10 years before in like a more corporate and more employee role that kind of helped you with your business, or not, or it's not the same kind of skills that are required in that way?
You're always learning. I think I learned from everywhere I worked, not just things that you have to do, but also things that you shouldn't do. I think that was more valuable. And I saw how and I also worked with great in companies which are set up by entrepreneurs. So I could very closely observe how they still ran the company, what was the key differences that they assess, and where they were falling short, how they treated their employees. I you pick up a little bit from here and there, and I think my way of learning is usually when by observing people. Like if I want to learn carpentry tomorrow, I wouldn't learn it from YouTube or a book. If there's a carpenter telling me what to do, I
Yeah.
would learn it quickly.
Yeah. You would go there to the workshop.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
learning by doing and observing is one way I learn things faster. So working in these great companies and reading about them and things like that, it really opened up my perspective. And also when I once I started the company, also I do a lot in crisis, right? And observing some of these guys handling crisis, I learned from it. I learned from my clients. I mean, not the communication part of
Part of
it,
it. Yeah.
but like how they deal with their legal issues and this and that. And
Mm.
a lot of them I learned quite intensely,
Mm.
and it benefited me going forward. Because I
Okay.
used to be like, oh my god, that's a legal issue, and they were like, yeah, our lawyers will deal with it. This is how we're going to do it. And
Okay.
so I also learned a lot from that.
And if you have an anecdote to share about your first or your hardest client acquisition, what would it be?
I mean, the first client, I mean, who's still my client at Red Hill, because I was quite adamant that I'm not going to do project work, only retainer work. And I was waiting for this client to go ahead with us um, till I officially start the company. So I'm waiting for this client to say yes, and it has to be a physical meeting, right?
Yeah.
So two times this guy was supposed to meet me, and he's like, his secretary would email me and say, "Oh, sorry, he's got another meeting, so let's meet like 2 months ahead."
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, I was set to meet him like the next day, and I was out somewhere with my kids, and then I was like telling him like, "Oh, this is what I'm going to do in the meeting tomorrow. This is what I'm going to say. He's going to say like this. We're going to shake hands, sign this thing, get started." Then immediately I get an email, and the email is from the secretary saying, "Oh, he has another urgent meeting has come up." Saying, so I hit reply all, and I
Reply all. Okay.
and I was just typing over there. You know what? I don't think this is going to work out. You, and then I looked up and I saw both my daughters playing around. I'm like, maybe. So I just like delete, 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 and I wrote, "It's no problem." Everything, and I sent that.
Okay.
And in 5 minutes, the main guy, not the secretary, the main guy replied. He said, "Jacob, this has been going on for too long. Let's just meet tomorrow early morning, and then I'll go for my meeting there."
Ah, okay.
So yeah, so key decisions at key times. Imagine if I send the first email,
You would
we
not.
wouldn't be sitting here. Yeah. So cooler minds prevailed, and it worked out well.
Okay, so far the lessons have been patience, and being gritty, right?
Yeah,
And also evolving and
evolving and learning.
learning constantly.
Yeah,
Um, but so
and
now there
also
is,
don't panic.
yeah.
Don't panic, and don't react on impulse.
Mm.
Just nothing is impossible. There's always a solution.
But a lot of the times, I mean, now a lot of there's like a lot of buzz, right, on social media saying, oh, you all have to quit your 9 to 5s, you all have to stop doing this and then start your company and doing all, and there's a lot of hype about that. So, seeing all of this, what do you think that, social media is getting wrong about entrepreneurship? Because it's not just the grit and glam, right? There is a lot of actual hard work and thought behind a lot of these things. So, what do you think is the is the reality behind these, this kind of glamorous picture of having your own business?
See, look, social media. I don't like to generalize. There are some really good social media, content sources that really give good advice. I have relied on them.
Hmm.
But generally, what you should avoid doing is that don't focus too much on the glitz and glamour of it. you know so a lot of the content I see, and I try to skip, is that, hey, I made this much money, here's my
Yeah.
expensive watch, here's my
Mhm.
car, here's my this. And that's not, I mean, anybody who's doing that is
Not
probably not
really.
in a legitimate business.
Yeah.
um I think, see, it is good, the way things are moving ahead. You have to own something to sustain yourself. Others, if you're just doing a job, it has to be something really specialized.
Right.
Because if you're going to do just PowerPoint decks, if you're going to organize something, if you're going to, all that AI can do. So you need to be someone who can create something that is very hard to replace. So you could be a good criminal lawyer, you could be an auditor who signs off on things, those kind of stuff. Or you need to own something. It
Mm.
could be that you own a plumbing company,
Right.
or you own, um, lawn mower,
Yeah. 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 You
management
actually own,
place.
like, yeah, like it's a
Yeah, or
like.
you own a law firm, or you own this thing, because
Mm.
ownership is equity. Equity is the value.
Yeah.
So, but too many. I think too much of this. Some people will make money, like whether it is drop shipping, or if you do AI video content on YouTube, automate a lot of these things.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people will make money, and then they will sell courses for others to come.
Yes. On
Yeah,
all the drop shipping
yeah.
courses.
So it makes no sense that way. But find out something that you're truly passionate about, and just go full steam ahead into it, and don't be afraid of failure. Failure comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
um, See, the one of the advantages I had also was that starting an agency doesn't require too much capital. It's just basically my time. I
Right.
didn't start with an office, I didn't start with anything. It was just a laptop and a domain name, and then just deliver things for people, and then things work out.
Yeah.
um
Okay, so you were not that capital intensive in
no,
the
and,
beginning.
I wasn't hiring anyone. I would only hire after I've made some money.
Yeah.
So it would make a bit of a, what do you call it, gave room. I mean, there's no bank
It
loan.
gave you
There's
headroom, right?
no, yeah, there's no,
There's no invest.
if it's a bad month, the worst thing is that I'll delay my salary. There is no rent checks. So then you build up a cash reserve, and then you say, okay, we make this much, we have this many clients, we can afford an employee.
Right.
Then we made this much. Okay, now it's time to take a small office.
Right.
So then you just work yourself up from there. So
Okay.
a lot of times, what happens is that you bring in investor money, or you bring in, then the other people are calling the shots.
It was my next question. Do
Yeah.
you believe in bootstrapping or having having investors and having funding and you are starting off comfortably? Like, what is?
I My preference is bootstrapping.
Mm,
And then also look for strategic investors. So, for example, let's say that we want to set up a wellness resort, yeah, in Mongolia or Tasmania, or Tanzania, or wherever it is.
one of the Enyas.
Yeah, yeah, wherever it is. But it's capital intensive. But if we can, some of these countries, if you bring in with an established player, they might be able to give you lease on land for long term at a low cost.
Right.
Then if you, let's say, decide to bring some good brand of resorts that and tell them, hey, we can get land at low lease, why don't you come and be the development partner? So if you bring in those kind of strategic partners, and then bring in a bank, you know to do these things, maybe some local partners who can put in some money and things, then that capital intensity goes down. And then so I would prefer that kind of arrangement, or rather than having like a huge debt from the first day you start, or having financial investors who are like, okay, you have to pay us this much, and
Every month, yeah. So you have
we
to.
are 2 3 seats on the board, and then they are doing these things. So that doesn't make any sense.
Right. Okay. But the other one for the wellness resort is more for a more mature kind of
Yeah,
investor asset
you
type,
start
right?
small with one business,
Mm,
and then you can see how you can add value to other businesses or help other people in other businesses. So I have put some money into some uh, other startups, and some have not done really well, but one or two have done quite well. One of them might go for IPO in Japan soon. It's called Metro Residences.
okay.
They are like long-term Airbnb for corporates.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to always diversify and look for opportunities. So looking ahead, there are a few things that I'm working on all the time, and
Yeah.
that keeps your mind also busy, opens up opportunities and things.
Okay. So you said that for some businesses it's better start lightly, and for the others it's better to come in with more
Look, if
strategic.
you're going to start right out of college
Yeah.
or this thing, it's better to start small.
Yes, that was my
Start
next.
any business small as soon as possible. Then you know how it works. Maybe it's like just starting a gym, or maybe it's running a restaurant or doing something. Then you understand what is an entrepreneurship is really about.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
don't think of it as like get rich quick scheme.
Yes.
Everybody wants as a passion project. They love doing it, or they want to be. It becomes like their identity. I want to be a fashion designer. I want to have my own boutique. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to run a restaurant. But as a business, it's totally different. So get your experience doing it. When you
Right.
understand that, okay, potatoes cost this much, and I have to sell this much potatoes to make
What is my
margin.
margin between my
Yeah,
potatoes
then
and
GST is this much.
my
All these things. So once you gain that experience, you'll be able to do a lot more.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. Good. Great. And then my next question was, well, we said for a 25-year-old, it's better to, said build experience and all of that.
Yeah.
And you worked in corporates before. So does brand matter? Did working in corporate before give you an identity? Did it give you more legitimacy when you were starting out? Or you would say it was net neutral and you really, it was not is not did it give you a good, oh, they would say, okay, he's X of this company, so he has a voice, like, did it give you that kind of identity is my question.
Yeah, 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 definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. And also working in those companies teaches you a lot. I learned how they would pitch for business, how they would client serve, how the business was organized, um, and what to make them stand apart, how to retain talent, how to get rid of talent. So all these things you learn over there. And also when you go on your own, when you introduce yourself and things, they say, okay, what's your background in PR, what's your this thing, and then you mentioned that you worked in these companies, it really helps.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it's definitely a thing to work
On.
yeah, definitely.
Okay. Okay. Good. 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 Alors, you want to do the you want to do the rapid fire round now?
Sure, sure, sure.
Okay, but really it's rapid fire, you cannot take a lot of time, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're
We start.
recording live, so it's okay.
We start now. Hire for experience or attitude?
Attitude.
Tough conversations by email or face to face?
Both.
You have to pick one.
I mean, if I'm accessible and that person is accessible physically, yeah, face to face. But most of my time now, I have to do things on email.
Okay, what's harder, starting a company or scaling it?
Oh, scaling it.
Scaling it. Okay. Funding or profitability?
Profitability.
Biggest
Any
myths about being a CEO?
luxurious life.
Working from home or office?
I prefer working from office, but nowadays I work mostly from hotel rooms.
One skill every entrepreneur needs, according to you?
Ability to sell.
One habit that made the biggest difference in your career?
Oh, okay. There are two, three. Do you want only one?
No, you can do three. You can do three. Fine.
Okay. One was I stopped drinking.
Okay.
Second was I think having a good operations head, like president, like Manisha. That made a huge difference. So I was bad at it. And then having a good admin and finance person.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need these three.
Three. Okay. A business book everybody should read.
Oh, there are several. One of the books I read when I started the company was Bloomberg by Bloomberg. I think the first edition. Don't read the second one. Second one is a little this thing. Then there was uh, Truth About Hard Things or something about hard things. I can't recollect the name of the book that well. Then there's a book called Business of Persuasion by um, Harold Burson, who I worked for at
Okay.
Burson Masteller.
Yeah.
There are lots of books. Yeah, there's no like one book I can think of.
One app you cannot live without.
WhatsApp.
And okay, final question. Um, I think you addressed it already, but we're gonna ask you definitely, and you have to pick one. Okay.
Okay.
Is it about solving a problem or risk taking? Entrepreneurship.
Risk taking. A lot of people can solve problems, but you're always taking a risk. When people come to me and say, Jacob, I have this problem, I need this solved, The next question is, can you solve it?
Yeah.
You know,
You can solve it.
yeah. So in my mind, I'm doing a mental this thing saying, okay, there's a 60% chance I can do it, and then you're going to say, yes, I can solve it. So then you have to just make sure it happens, and once you make sure it happens, then the client sticks with you. But if you think of the other 40% and say, I could fail, what am I going to say if I fail? Can I blame it on somebody else? This thing, then it's not going to happen. So you
Okay.
need to take that risk.
So risk taking. That is our final answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You have to
Well,
always be risk taking.
you did your rapid fire round well. It was fast.
Thank you, thank
Faster than
you,
I expected.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you have any business ideas?
Do I have any? I don't have any business ideas for now, but I have like some fund ideas. I think because I'm exposed to a lot of debt funds and stuff right now,
Mhm.
I have more ideas in that sense. But I feel like I'm in the part where I'm thinking about what would be the kind of areas and sectors and themes that I would want to invest in, to build in, and to like fundraise in. I think I'm more of for now, I think I'm more in that mentality than building a company mentality.
Mhm. No, that's good. That's good. I mean, I think it's a big growing area, and there's a lot of funding required in some sectors. You know, whether it is solar panels or chip manufacturing, or those things. Now it's too late for entrepreneurs to jump on because
Yes,
uh,
it's not. I mean, I don't see myself for now, and I'm just 25, so I don't want to say anything and
yeah.
come back 10 years later and be like, actually.
Yeah. No, I think that those are there are you need to find some crazy entrepreneurs who
Mm,
you can trust with funding.
yeah,
So who's going to go for finding rare earths in Mongolia,
earth minerals,
or
exactly.
yeah, you need to find someone, or set up the world's largest solar power to to do this thing, and those kind of things. You just have to be open to people coming up, and then do due diligence and checks, and like just
Yeah,
get
yeah. I
behind.
think in that mentality now, I'm starting more in like in the Indo-French ecosystem,
Yeah.
and like being part of like the France India Young Talent Program was interesting because a lot of people were actually entrepreneurs, and a lot of them pretty young as well, and they were all figuring it out and all of that. So it was very interesting to see. And one of them asked me, "Hannah, you're pretty charming. Why don't you start your own company? You're
Mm.
pretty convincing." And I'm like,
Yeah. See, starting a company is easy. You just have to register a business.
"Yes." I was
But
like,
the
"But what
thing
would
is,
I
like, what
do?"
is the flow? Like, what is the
Yeah.
income? What is the expenditure when you're getting things done? I think right now you just work on building relationships.
Exactly. And I was like,
Building
what would I
relationships.
do?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you'll become the value of being the person who can back things and have access to people and funds. That itself is, so people will pay you for that connection,
Yeah.
or pay you for being that connector.
And also that knowledge, right? A lot of the times I realize that a lot of things that I'm working on or got exposed to and stuff are not like are not very well known, like some kind of structure, some kind of way that you've instrumentalized certain programs. All those things that I think that I'm building my knowledge base, I think,
Yeah.
before starting something or figuring out exactly what I want to do.
Excellent. That's very good. Did you watch on Amazon? I think I shared it on the family group. Made in India, the Titan story.
I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's a story of the Titan watch company.
Okay. Yeah, I'll watch
Mm.
it.
It's quite good. It's quite good. I really liked it.
Did he start out as a watch company or was it something else before?
There's something else, but you watch it, and then you will see that how all these. What I liked about that show was it's
Mm.
just issues after issues that keep coming up, but don't lose your cool and just work on them, and it just changes. Yeah, it's quite good. Give it a good watch.
Okay. Noted. I'll watch.
Alrighty, that
Look at
was
us. We're
yeah,
efficient, like on the.
efficient, on time, and yeah. Now let's see how good the editor person does the work.
I mean, I hope he does the rapid fire round with some like really good editing. If it's
Uh,
prepared.
let's see. Maybe first, as I said, it's about facing challenges. Maybe the first one is not that great, but we'll sort it out.
Yes. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'll see you. I'll see you this week. I'll see you
Yes.
on
See
Thursday.
you on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
Bye. Say bye so long as well.
Yeah, yeah. I will.